Steroids are a performance-enhancing drug used by athletes and bodybuilders. They use them for more endurance and to look bigger. The people on this list began to abuse them and the consequences were dire. Number 5. Candace Armstrong. This woman from London began using steroids because she wanted to gain bigger muscles. Because she abused it, it caused her to become very masculine. Candace has started to grow excess body hair, including facial hair, and she also developed acne. One more strange side effect of the steroids caused her clitoris to swell, which now looks like a mini penis. Along with this, her voice also became slightly deeper. She has no plans on putting a stop to the steroid use. She claims that if she would put an end to it, then it would do more harm than good. She also said that she didn't expect to look how she does now. She said she just wanted bigger arms and broad shoulders. She said that people shout insults at her while she walks down the street. Number 4. Romario Alves. Romario dos Santos Alves is a Brazilian bodybuilder. To make himself look bigger, he decided to inject Synthol. This is a risky cocktail of oil, alcohol, and sometimes painkillers. The mixture makes the muscles look as if they're inflated, but really, it's just skin filled with oil. After abusing it, his arms swelled up to 25 inches. The Synthol began to start solidifying, and Synthol crystals started to form in his muscles. He said his muscles felt like rocks. Doctors warned him that his arms may have to be amputated, but luckily, they were able to remove the Synthol rocks instead. He claims that injecting Synthol becomes very addictive. Kids in the local area are scared of him and call him Monster. Synthol was commonly used in Brazil, and many have died from using the method. We will learn about this in a following case. Number 3. Arms explode. There is very little information surrounding this case, but once again, it is Synthol abuse. This Brazilian man abused Synthol and it had a devastating result. In 2010, he was involved in a motorbike accident which ruptured his bicep. He was rushed into the hospital, but due to excess bleeding, the doctors couldn't save his life. Synthol is not actually sold in Brazil, so people resort to injecting oils. They inject cooking oil and a veterinarian oil known as Aid. Injecting oil rather than actual steroids is common in Brazil and many people die from it. Number 2. Andreas Munzir. Andreas was an Austrian professional bodybuilder known for his ability to reach extremely low body fat levels. He had competed in several competitions such as Mr. Olympia. On March 14, 1996, he died due to his steroid abuse. He took several anabolic steroids and also took human growth hormone and several diuretics. Shortly after a competition in 1996, he began to start suffering with stomach pains. After months of suffering with them, they got so severe that he was admitted into the hospital. Doctors had found out that he was suffering from internal bleeding. They decided to operate to try and stop the bleeding. During this, they had found that his liver and kidneys were badly damaged from his years of steroid use. They then started to fail. At this point, his condition was too severe for a blood transfusion. He then died on the morning of March 14th at the age of 31. His death was ruled as multiple organ failure. At the time of his death, his body fat level was at 0%. It was also found out that he had 20 different drugs in his system. Number 1. Greg Valentino. Otherwise known as the man whose arms exploded and the most hated man in bodybuilding, he began to start bodybuilding at the age of 14. He said he believes he suffered from little man syndrome and wanted to get as big as he could. As a result, he started using steroids and also injected Synthol. After years of injecting and reusing needles without properly cleaning them, his bicep became infected and an abscess formed. He said his arms were like a giant bag of pus. Realizing the damage he caused, Greg decided to operate on himself. He filmed the entire event. In the video, he shows himself sticking a syringe into his bicep and withdrawing huge amounts of blood and pus. After losing too much blood, he decided to go to the hospital. Doctors performed emergency surgery and removed a large portion of his bicep. Shortly after being released from the hospital, he was put in prison for selling steroids. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to keep updated with our videos. Goodbye.